If you have a question about Jurassic World Evolution 2, odds are it will be answered in this video. Jurassic World Evolution 2 released in November of 2021, and for almost 2.5 years while doing my creative builds and tip videos, I've been getting the same 10 questions. From new people getting the game, hi, subscribe for tips and tricks, and some timeless questions that just keep popping up. Question number 1, the most asked question on the channel. Why don't I have all buildings, all decorations, all fences, all trees, or some variation thereof? Look which comments came in while I was working on this video. When I get a comment like this, I know this person plays the game on an older generation console. And it's not because I have the sight. It's because that's the answer to the question. If you play Jurassic World Evolution 2 on a PS4 or Xbox One and you go to Sandbox, you are forced to choose a building era. Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, DFW, or if you have the DLCs, Biosyn or Malta. What buildings, decorations, and fences you have access to in a park depend on which era you choose right here. Look at the difference here between the stuff you get in the Jurassic World era versus the Jurassic Park era as just an example. There is some overlap, but most assets in the game are divided up between the different eras. The PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS version of the game have the all buildings option. The all buildings option means I have every asset in the game available in a single save file, so within a single park. Similarly, the PC and current gen console version of the game has the all foliage option, which allows us to use the decorative, placeable trees and bushes from every biome on any given map. This option, again, is not available on PS4 and Xbox One. If you play the game on such an older console, you do have all of the stuff, but unfortunately it is split between the different eras and different biomes. What that means is that if you always go to Nublar in the default Jurassic World era, as an example, you're always going to have the same stuff, and you might even feel like you don't have a lot of the stuff that you see other people use. The only real workaround here is to switch it up. So when you start a new park, go to a different map and pick Jurassic Park or DFW for once. I built this park using only the Jurassic Park buildings and decorations, and it is one of my favorites. So while I agree that the limitation does suck, it can still be done. You can still build awesome stuff within that restriction. And if you're looking for some building ideas and inspiration for this singular era, check out that tour. I will link it somewhere around here. It shall be linked. Question number 2. Why don't I have the invisible fence? Or where do I find the invisible fence? The invisible fence comes from the Dominion Biosyn expansion, released in the summer of 2022. The fence is not part of the base game, so if you didn't buy that DLC, you don't have this fence type. If you did buy the DLC and you still can't find the fence, then you are playing on PS4 or Xbox One and you loaded into the wrong era. The invisible fence is from the Biosyn expansion, so you will find it in the Biosyn era. By the way, if this video helps you out, please give it a like so the YouTube algorithm will show it to more people and they will have their questions answered too. Question number 3. Why don't I have snow? You are either playing Jurassic World Evolution 1 and are not realizing you are watching videos about Jurassic World Evolution 2, or you are always loading into the same map. Probably Nublar. Jurassic World Evolution 2 has several different biomes. If you have all DLCs, you have 9 different biomes in total. The terrain paints you have available depend on the biome you are in. Technically, only 2 of the 9 biomes have snow, Taiga and Alpine. If you have the Biosyn expansion, Biosyn Valley is categorized as Alpine, but it's actually a completely unique biome in the game which does not have snow. And the other biome from the Biosyn expansion is the Sierra Nevada Snowy Taiga, which again is categorized as Taiga, but it's entirely different from the other Taiga biomes that we have in the game, which is to say that it's all snow. You are not going to find a snow terrain brush if you load into a tropical or desert map for obvious reasons. So before starting a new park, consider what type of environment you want your park to have, which terrain paints will work best, and choose your map accordingly. Question number 4. Which map is this? I get this question on pretty much every video, but I get it the most for parks I build on the California map, which is this one. California is the last location of the campaign, and I think, if I recall correctly, you only unlock this map if you do in fact complete the campaign. And even though the campaign takes only 4 hours to complete, even at my YouTuber pace of making fun of everything, it seems a lot of people don't bother playing all the way through it to unlock this map. I think anyone who has unlocked all maps knows in a single glance which map any park is built on because they are easily distinguishable. If you haven't unlocked California yet, I highly recommend that you do. It is my favorite map and biome in the game, and it has snow. Unless they've patched it out in an update that I didn't particularly pay attention to, maps are one of the few things that you do still have to play the game for to unlock, so either through the campaign or challenge mode. If that's the case, your UI will clearly show which maps you still have to unlock and how to unlock them, like which game mode you have to play to get access to these maps. Question number 5. How do I access the species viewer, or what is this mode? The species viewer was introduced in one of the free updates. It was not part of the game at launch, so if you haven't played Jurassic World Evolution 2 since about 2022, you won't recognize it. Unfortunately, the species viewer can only be accessed one way, and it is a major design flaw. To access the species viewer, you must do a handstand and put your pinky in your belly button and recite the alphabet backwards while pinching your nose. Or a shortcut is to just press Alt and then F4. It's actually not that complicated, but sometimes it feels like it is when you are building a park, because the only way to open the species viewer is from the main menu. It's right here at the top. In 2 clicks and a short loading time, it's open, and you can use it to view all species with all of their skin combinations. Question number 6. How do I get into first person mode? So whenever I do one of my many park tours, I do so from first person mode, another feature that was introduced in a free update after launch. It's basically just the capture mode camera locked to eye height and lacking any of the fancy features because human eyes just ain't that fancy. The first person mode is accessed via this button on the left hand side UI. Just click on it and poof, you are a guest in your own park. If you enjoy park tours, I have a whole playlist of them, and of course consider subscribing for future park builds and tours. Question number 7. Does this glitch still work? I've shown many amazing glitches on the channel that make park building even more interesting, and I recently combined all of the biggest and best glitches in the ultimate glitch guide. Without fail, whenever the game updates, the question, does glitch XYZ still work, starts to flood in. People are very concerned about Frontier patching out these glitches we've been exploiting, especially the glitch to get dinosaurs into the aviary. A glitch that I first shared on the channel in September of 2022 and again in shorts form in early 2023. That video has 660,000 views. I guarantee you, Frontier knows about this glitch. They have known for a long time, and they don't care, they don't mind. They aren't going to fix it. Frontier is a game developer, so in spite of what Jurassic Challenge mode might suggest, they want us to have fun with their game. They're not going to patch out something that doesn't bypass their gameplay loop and we're just having fun with. They know that if they would, we would bring out the torches and pitchforks. The only useful glitch to us that they've ever patched out was allowing us to 5-star a park without dinosaurs using only attraction buildings. That let us cheat in challenge mode, it interfered with the gameplay loop, so they fixed that. And I think that's fair. I'm not worried that they're gonna come after any of the glitches that we've been using to improve our sandbox parks. It's just some innocent fun, it's not harming anything, they're aware of that, and again, they want us to have fun with their game. So really, after these updates, you don't have to ask, is this glitch okay? Does it still work? Is the baby safe? It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Question number 8, and it's a 3-for-1. Is this a mod / what mod is this? Why don't you just use mod XYZ? That makes it so much simpler. When are you going to use mods? Yes, we're getting a little meta with the questions now. I get asked almost every single day if one of my Jurassic World Evolution 2 builds is modded, and blanket statement, the answer is no. I don't use mods for this game yet. It's all vanilla gameplay with some added spice of cool glitches. I have a playlist with building tips, and I've recently done an ultimate glitch guide explaining all of the best glitches for sandbox builders step by step. You can check all of that out if you want to build like a modder, apparently, but you can't or don't want to actually use mods. So next up then, if I don't use mods, why not? This is my least favorite question, not because it's a bad question, but because it always gets asked so condescendingly, which is why I did the voice earlier. You know, people genuinely see me share a cool trick that everyone can use, and they're just like, there's a mod for that, why don't you just use that? I have Jurassic World Evolution 2 on PC, and there are many amazing mods available for this game for PC users, made by a fantastically creative and dedicated modding community. These mods undeniably make the game much, much better, and make it infinitely easier to build amazing parks by removing the restraints and adding more creative options. But I have several reasons for just not using mods yet. I don't think the game needs to be modded. Yes, mods make it even better, but it's already a great game without, and I really, really enjoy it even 2.5 years down the line. The challenges that unmodded building poses, I actually enjoy trying to overcome. It feels like more of an accomplishment when you can pull off something awesome without any help. Not using mods also means I get genuinely excited whenever Frontier adds even the smallest thing in a new update, because it is all new to me and I get to share that enthusiasm with everyone when I do my showcase videos. Whereas modders have already been spoiled in a way. They already had a lot of the stuff that Frontier adds later, and they actually have to worry about their mods and their parks breaking when Frontier updates the game, making updates and DLCs kind of a mixed bag for people who use mods. And as a content creator, I like sharing all of the tips, tricks, and glitches with the whole community so everyone can get the most out of the game. The majority of dinosaur park builders play this game on console, so they can't fall back on mods. Based on the feedback that I regularly get, I help a lot of people get more creative with this game, and that's most important to me. That feels really fulfilling, and that's the whole reason why I started this channel in the first place. Now, all of these reasons don't mean I will never mod. Eventually, even I will run out of ideas on what to do with a vanilla build. You have to understand that since this is also my job, I build a lot more than the average player. There's only so much you can do before it starts to look the same. And honestly, if you're just playing the game, building the same park over and over is fine, and you can even make it a teeny tiny bit better every single time. But as a content creator, I can't make the same video over and over. Eventually, I have to move on. So when will I start using mods? Well, currently the plan is to start using mods a little while after Frontier is completely done with the game. That way, the game gets a second life for me, opening up this whole new world of modded stuff for me to explore that people who have been modding since the start will probably have already grown bored with by then. But for me, it's something exciting to look forward to at the end of the game's official life cycle. By the time I do start using mods, I will have exhausted all of my creative ideas for vanilla builds. I'll be at the glass ceiling, and I have to smash through it with mods. I know a lot of console gamers dread the day I start using mods, but you have to realize you wouldn't be losing out on anything. I won't be doing modded builds instead of vanilla builds. The choice is not between those two. I'll be doing modded builds instead of doing nothing at all. Like I said, I can't keep making more vanilla builds if I've used up all ideas and have nothing left to share to make videos about. Even though you won't be able to directly copy my builds without using mods, you can still take inspiration from them for your own builds, and that leads into the next question. Question number 9. How do I get inspired for a build? You can get inspiration from literally anywhere. Taking inspiration from something and copying something aren't the same thing, and once you realize that difference, you'll see you can find inspiration everywhere. From your favorite books and movies, from modded park builds, even from Prehistoric Kingdom and Planet Zoo builds. A recent example, and one of my favorite examples for where I get my inspiration from, is from my Mini Manticore Island series. Check out the full park tour on the channel. In this park, I built a habitat inspired by the Ice Court, a location in the book I was reading at the time, which had a sketch of that location within the book itself. So yeah, I literally get inspiration from anything, because Jurassic World Evolution 2 is my obsession, it is my job, so I constantly have it on the brain. So honestly, anything I see, I sort of see through a lens of Jurassic World Evolution 2 path and monorail track and buildings and planters. So that's just how my brain has adapted. For a little bit more of a concrete example of where you can find inspiration, I personally get a lot of inspiration from Googling public parks and architecture. For example, look at this concept art that I based the arrival area of one of my builds on. If you need a more direct and literal example to either copy or make your own version of, I hope that you will find plenty of that on the channel. You can check out the playlist for exhibit speed builds, the full park tours, the building series that we've done on the channel, and of course the tip videos, which also all include examples. I also highly recommend that you check out the Battle of the Builders competition videos on the channel with a lot of examples of parks built by incredibly talented park builders in the community. I will include a lot of links at the end of this video to help you out with your builds. Question number 10. Is the game dead? We know from Jurassic World Evolution 1 that once Frontier is done developing the game and will not be releasing more DLC, they will not announce that. Having experience with that has left many of us traumatized. But we also know that there is currently one more empty slot in the game for an upcoming DLC. So Frontier is planning to release at least one more DLC for Jurassic World Evolution 2. Unless they go bankrupt in the meantime, I think we can count on that DLC becoming a reality. After which, we'll just have to wait and see. However, the game won't die. It'll just be done. And there's a difference. As long as you still have ideas for your next build, you can keep enjoying this game, and I hope my channel helps out with that. For all the tips, tricks, inspiration, and of course the latest news on the game, subscribe to the channel. Do you still have questions about the game not answered in this video? Ask it in a comment and I'll do my best to answer them all. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game. You know. Okay, but that's funny because that makes it literally impossible to do a handstand. Okay.